Salute, salute. Welcome to the post game. Knicks Streets, Knicks Nation. We here. How we doing? Ready to talk about this tonight. As the Knicks picked up a huge, gritty win at MSG against Eastern Conference rivals, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Salute to the best fan base in the streets. Salute to the best chat in the biz. Let's go. How we feeling? Ladies and gentlemen, lots to talk about tonight. Ready to get into it. Let's go. Salute, salute, salute. How we feeling out here? The day after, coming to you with the post game. Knicks top the CAVS 103-105 at MSG. Feels great to finally pull out one of these tough games at home. Absolutely, no doubt about it. You know, when the Knicks have been, fallen short most recently on that skid, there was a lot of learning lessons to be made. Mitchell Robinson's still out. Obviously, the Knicks got Emmanuel quickly back last night. And it was a back and forth affair, man. It was a gritty, tough Eastern Conference game. The refs let a lot go. It was definitely a game where it was physical. Definitely, man. It was physical. Julius Randle showed out again. The New York Knicks All-Star. The coach has got to get him in. There's no doubt about it, man. We'll rattle off all these stats tonight. But yeah, Randle's having a franchise season so far as well, and he's on track to achieve something hasn't been done in NBA history. We'll talk about it. 38 minutes, 36 big ones, and racked up his 14th 30-point ball game for the season, and he's just one away from tying his MIP season, 21-22 season, right? Just one 30-point game away with so many to go. Ladies and gentlemen, chat with me, rocking out. Salute. Glad you could join us. Sharp Powers, salute. That's a tap. Yep. Finally, yeah, it was touch and go there at the end, man. The New York Knicks had to pull out that stop, but I'm glad they won it on that end. Yet to pull off that buzzer beater. Yet, as buzzer beaters in the chat, salute to you, fam. Salute Heck and Knicks Morning Brew. What it do, fam, as well. Yeah, great game, man. How are we feeling after this? We've got the trade buzz swirling. So many rumors and stories dropping recently. We'll talk about it tonight. Who would you want to welcome onto this squad as the New York Knicks sort of steady the ship now at 26 and 23, and a lot to look ahead. We have the All-Star weekend in sight. We're going to get a bit of a break. There's been some trades go down across the league. Of course, Cam Reddish's name is still swirling out here. We'll chop it up, find him a new home tonight, and see what we can get back. Man, let's go. Yep. Salute, fam. Buzzer. What's good? How we feeling, Knicks Nation? And the New York Knicks came out hot again. This hasn't been an issue this season. New York Knicks start pretty well, right? 34 points in the first quarter to 27 Cleveland Cavaliers. But then it was the second quarter, just put up 19 points. Cleveland definitely tightened the screws with that situation. The Knicks came out of the half again pretty strong, which has been quite pleasing this season. No more third quarter of dooms as often as we've seen. And the New York Knicks got 27 points to 24. And a decent fourth quarter with 25 points to 28. Although, Donovan Mitchell did have that chance. The New York Knicks are still shaky in those final moments of a ball game, and has us all on the edge of our seat. But we pulled this one out. That's the main thing, and that's what we're here to talk about, tonight. It was just a great thing. New York City ball. We're used to getting stops from the 90s era to win us some ball games. Man, I'll take it. Of course, a lot of heroes to shout out, from Julius Randle down to the role players. All of the bench was in the plus minus, and all of the starters were in the minus. So this was a complete team effort tonight. We'll give out some flowers, we'll give out our grades, we'll look at the road ahead, and we'll talk about the latest trade buzz, man, which is getting insane right now. Some specific news dropping that the Knicks have heavy interest in OG Anunoby. Talk Bob Myers, the executive. There's a chance if he's available, the Knicks would be interested. Man, it all drops in one day. Of course, there's some unconfirmed reports, I'll say unconfirmed, about, Obi Toppin being included in some OG Anunoby scenarios. We know Gary Trent's on the block in Toronto who are underachieving, so all eyes are on them. There was to talk about Grayson Allen, the New York Knicks potentially interested in him in a Milwaukee deal. So we'll talk about that more later in the show after we've done chopping up the huge win last night at MSG. But yeah, we've got to give a shout out to the defense. Getting some stops was key. Isaiah Hartenstein had one block removed. The league's last 2-minute report comes out and says it was a foul on Spider Mitchell, which is what else is new. It never seems to go the Knicks' way. But the main thing is that the ref didn't call it. I think he went straight up, and it was ticky tack if it was called, and we finally were on the right end of one of those calls, fam. With that said, Isaiah played solid defense as well. One of his best games as a New York Knick, and he's been much maligned, with this situation this season. Yeah, with that said, man, obviously the New York Knicks offense hasn't really been an issue so much. Obviously, it was very isolation heavy still. There was times when it was blatantly obvious that the Cavs were zeroing in. Their defense really picked things up. I salute the Cavs because, yeah, the Knicks were out to a nice lead in this game. As we go over some of the stats, the New York Knicks' biggest lead was 13 for the game. Cleveland's biggest lead was 8. Points in the paint, Cleveland with the trees, they dominated 52-38. So it was always going to be a big challenge. We had Jared Allen return, Evan Mobley. I mean, Brunson was up against it, against the size, as was the rest of the Knicks. But Juju Randle displayed toughness, rebounding as well. There was many plays under the bucket where he was hacked and wasn't given a foul call as well. So the Knicks really earned this win last night. It could have gone either way. And finally, we're on the right end, man, of one of these classics, right? It feels good. And 26-23, now we steady the ship back to 3 games over as we have Boston coming up and a Brooklyn Nets squad without KD. So that's interesting. We'll talk about that more in the road ahead. But to knock off, a team that's doing really well in the East, in the standings, the Cavs are in 5th spot at 29-20. We have the Miami Heat in 6th, which is just a game ahead of the Knicks. They've picked up the Heat, they've really picked things up late, and they're 27-22. The Knicks 26-23, right? Just one game behind, and the Hawks are at 500, 24-24, and 1.5 games back of the New York Knicks as well. So a lot's been made of the tough stretch that the New York Knicks are going to face ahead of them, but they sort of got to just keep both eyes on the All-Star break, right? And just get through this tough stretch, try and go 500, try and pull off some more of these gritty wins like they did last night. But man, we do need some help. Nothing's changed in the last few weeks, right? Obviously, we had Quickly back, and we missed him the game before against Toronto, and that hurt us. Quickly came back, and we got to shout out Quickly, the minutes plus minutes king. Right now, Emmanuel Quickly was once again the plus minus leader from last night. Over the last 2 games was the leader. The last 3 games, 4 games, 5 games. You get where I'm going with this, right? Emmanuel Quickly has been Mr. Consistent. When he's in the squad, we have a great chance to win, as with Mitchell Robinson. But Quick in his 27 minutes was 500 from the field, was a team high plus 14 with 9 points, so stand up. Racked up 6 assists, got a steal, and got 5 rebounds as well in just 27 minutes. So IQ, man, the talk is that the New York Knicks are now closing off all connections in terms of trade talks with Quickly, as they should, man. He's a player on the rise. It's always risky, moving on from a guy who you just don't quite know what you got yet. You don't know what his ceiling can be right now. In his just third year, he's starting to show us the whole package, ladies and gentlemen, from rebounding, assists, playmaking, scoring as well. The dribble has gotten tighter, the shot selection's got better, and the minutes have gone up as well. So shouts out Emmanuel Quickly, salute for that. The plus minus leader over the last like 16 games or so. You get where I'm going with that. Obviously, there was good contributions across the board. You know, 4 of the 5 starters were in double digits, with Brunson chipped in with 14, Barrett with 16, and Grimes with 10 to complement Randle's 36 piece, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as I'll pull this one up on the screen, we have a situation where Julius Randle's now at 14 games, 30-point games for this season now. JB on 10, Julius Randle on 14, right? Just one away from his season high, career high with the New York Knicks from the 21-22 season, MIP, All-NBA, we hear right now. So give Julius his flowers. He's a deserving all-star with the situation. The pleasing thing from the game is we needed Julius's toughness, and I point to the rebounding, 4 offensive and 9 defensive rebounds, 13 total, with his 4 assists, and he racked up a whopping 5 turnovers, so more turnovers than assists, but that's going to happen when the defense definitely keys in. We needed all of Julius's 36 points, so obviously in an ideal world, we love a more even distribution across the board, sharing the rock, all of that stuff. But in a gritty, tough Eastern Conference matchup, which, like I said again, I'll reiterate, they were seriously swallowing the whistle with this, man. I thought Julius was hacked under the bucket, numerous times, and it was no foul call. With that said, so we just took it upon ourselves, man. Julius was rebounding under the bucket and was getting there, getting the putbacks. There was a couple of so many huge momentum swings as well, some and ones, and we have to highlight again Julius Randle's 3-point shooting this season has been absolutely key to open up the floor, man. He was a whopping 8 of 12 from the 3-point line, man. Shout out with that situation. Equaled his career high. Again, he's on an absolute tear. 14 30-point games so far this season, with more than 30 games remaining. Julius Randle will be in elite Knicks company by the end of this season, as you see on screen. The Pat Ewing highest franchise total for a season was 36. Yep. David in the chat, salute. I'm here talking, we're looking for OG. Again, that move would be nice. Yeah. Temptation. I love OG, and we'll talk about it more tonight. Plenty to talk about, fam, with this trade buzz. I've been saying for ages, we've heard that he's a kind of Tom Thibodeau guy, OG Anunoby. Not surprised that the Knicks are linked to OG, man. Not surprised in the least with that situation. Yep. As I pull this banner up below, you see it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go through all the names tonight. From Grayson Allen, linked to the Knicks, OG, Caruso still out there, Duarte, Buddy Hield, Reggie Bullock, familiar face, Josh Richardson, supposedly could be had for a 2nd-round pick as well. Doug McDermott, would you be interested in the Dougie McBuckets reunion? Mikal Bridges, we know how Phoenix are in a tough spot right now. So yeah, there's plenty of names that we'll go through tonight, and even more with that situation. Gary Trent Jr., Mo Bamba, Malik Beasley. Talk that CAVS may no longer be available anymore. Jay Crowder, Terrence Ross, Josh Green, and Doug McDermott on screen among the many, many names that could get moved in this coming deadline. And many of them would help the New York Knicks, right? Let's go. Get this bench situation sorted. Deuce McBride, is filled in admirably. Where we're going to start to seriously evaluate what we want to achieve for the season, as the front office already has, most likely, and we want to win. Deuce McBride getting valuable developmental opportunities, and he was a great plus 13 in 12 minutes last night, but he was 3 points. So you have to ask yourself, man, um, 11 points. We'll talk about Obi's big performance recently, his play of late picking up, but which is pleasing to see. Toppin and quickly back together again. They contributed to 20 points off the New York Knicks bench. So that's amazing. We know the ESP, the connections that Quick and Ob have, which is really key. Obi's 3-point balls back, baby. His raining threes the last 2 games. He was 2 of 3 from 3 last night, so I love to see that. But back to the game stats, the team was killed in the points in the paint, 38 to 52, but yet we still pulled out the win. So that's key. To me, that tells me defensive stops and we got buckets at the right time. Also, we got killed in the fast break points, ladies and gentlemen, 17 to 7 for the fast break points. So that's going to be a situation where with Obi back, that's helping us a lot with that situation, helping us a ton. And more trade buzz will continue. We've got the chat coming through. Canal, salute to everyone out here. Appreciate you. Quiet Money in the building, in the house, salute. The best fan base in the streets, the best chat in the biz. Chopping up this big win last night at MSG. It feels good to pull out a clutch win at home against an Eastern Conference powerhouse right now, the Cleveland Cavs right now. Giving Spider that taste, man, of what it could be like with Spider balling out in the wrong colors, though. you know, we'll talk about it more, but Spider in a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey in the wine and gold, it just doesn't. It's not a good look for him, in my opinion. It's not a good look. Salute to everyone out here. Key stops was the most pleasing thing for me, man, to pull out this kind of win, keeping the Cavs to 103. That was an achievement in itself. Considering we got killed in points in the paint and we got killed in the fast break points. But back to the lead, the Knicks obviously started really well to get a nice lead, a 13-point lead at one point. We definitely struggle now still to hold on to leads. The leads evaporate too quick for my liking. It was in the blink of an eye. It was back down to single digits, and then it was a tight ball game. Once again. Also, the Knicks had 15 turnovers to the Cavs 10 turnovers, so that was key again for the Knicks to have 5 more turnovers and still pull this one out. We got late stops with that situation. Big task in the house. The Cavs do not want to see the Knicks in the playoffs, baby. Facts. Yep. Will be a tough out for anyone. Definitely, man. Wait till we bolster this bench even more. Again, toughness. I'm all about toughness. Adding that. One thing I hadn't quite thought of recently, obviously, when we know we're shorthanded, fam. Mitchell Robinson, the story, he's been missed up until last night. But Mitch now, with the All-Star break, soon to be coming up, that's going to help us a lot because that's about a solid week with no games being played. So we'll keep an eye out on Mitch's recovery, and we know how key he is to this team. Obviously, Sims has done his best, and Hartenstein stepped up last night, fam, with the kings and queens in the chat. Let's go. Give us your thoughts, man. What was the most pleasing thing for you, fam, from last night's win. There's so many to talk about. It was just a gritty, tough win. Like I said, to be down on the so many stat lines and just still pull this one out, it was all this. It was all heart, you know. It was all heart. And Julius Randle raining some threes, Obi raining some threes, and quickly really given us incredible, incredible production, efficiency as well. Um, we highlight ball movement again. It was ugly, like it has been last night. Definitely, we're used to what we're seeing now. Isolation, heavy ball, right? That's not going to change. That's the New York Knicks offense right now. Uh, I think it could get better if we get more shooting. As Geraldine, salute in the chat. Ball movement with better shooting, I think will improve. It's just got to be on all guys to get on the guys who aren't moving it quick enough. Randle, Brunson, Coach Thibodeau's got to scream. Move the rock, just get it scrambling, get the defense scrambling, and I think we could get better shots. We've been taking shots early in the shot clock, bad shot selections, and then I think that's been the catalyst for a lot of moves. A lot of the leads capitulating. I think the New York Knicks, yeah, shot selection is bad at times, definitely. Yeah, critical play too, fam. I highlight this. Buzzer's on point. Salute. Randle making that layup under the basket, despite how many different fouls. I lost count with that. I thought it might turn into a Charles Smith moment. Yeah, man. We look at Randle's stats, fam, with 4 offensive rebounds. I think he had 2 or 3 in that one play alone. But yeah, Randle's strength among the trees, that was key with that situation. Yes, sir. We'll talk about OG and the Knicks' heavy interest in OG with that situation and some trade scenarios. Because yeah, he'd fit nicely into the right position on this team. But yeah, that's just the way it's got to be now, fam. We're going to grind out a lot of these wins. We know we ain't the most talented roster right now, especially against these tough teams with trees. We talked about Washington. That was a battle, man. We lost out. We talk about Toronto. That was a battle with trees. We lost out. Last night, we went up against more trees, but we came out the victors with that situation by the skin of our teeth, by 2 points because of the rebounding. I think we own the glass, and we're learning still to play without Mitch. I think our switching, our defensive decisions were better, but we got bogged down again. Like I said, we weren't moving the rock quite enough with that situation. Disappointing to lose the fast break points by 10. Although Obi has been on a tear lately, and we've got to talk about it, fam. He's been stiff the last 2 games. Obi should be playing more. There's no doubt about it. The 3-point ball's wet. He's getting easier points for us coming off. He's giving us that energy off the bench. And like I said earlier, he got great ESP with Quickly right now as well. He hits his free throws. We know rebounding is a weakness of Obi. He pulled in 3 rebounds, but the plus minus is key. He was plus 12, 11 points, super efficient. Should have played at least 15, 18, 20 minutes with the way the 3-point ball's going, man. That's the way I envision a more modern New York Knicks ball club, stretching the defense out, stretch 4, stretch 5s, getting open lanes for Brunson and Bully Barrett, and Randle to get into the teeth of the defense, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to capitalize on Obi Toppin's 3-point hot shooting right now. And in 10 minutes, you can't quite see how far that can go, with that situation. Yet Johnny Isaac back in the house as well. Crazy to see him back in 3 years' time. He's tantalizing with that situation. The Orlando Magic, fan, we'll talk about more tonight, but they've got a lot of decisions to make. Salute Almighty, Dirty Dancer in the house. Salute. Feeling like last night's game was fun, but bit of a mirage with the unsustainable 3 ball. We are still in some trouble, yeah. Yeah, we're in the trenches now, fam. Yeah, we're fighting a tough battle right now. Definitely last night we were lucky to pull it out, with Spider having that final shot. Usually it goes down our throat and a tie game or we lose. But I think being in so many tough games this season and losing so many heartbreakers, we've got to have learnt a few things or two to help us close out games better. Um, my issue is it seems like late in the third, early in the fourth, the other team goes on a massive run. Either it's when Brunson and Randle are sitting or due to poor shot selection, isolation, heavy play, fam. Uh, and we've been more consistent throughout the games. Like I said, I don't know how many games in a row now we've started well. 38 points, 34 points first quarter. Can't ask for anything better than that. Coming out 27 points in the third, holding Cleveland to 24 in the third out of the halftime break. That's key as well. What's killing us is bad stretches within quarters and to close out quarters. With Tommy Tibbs up in here. OG, not as much length, but Isaac working his way back. Want to see what Isaac can become. Yeah. The early fourth, just RJ lineup is just not that good. Yep. Yep. Highlight that, fam. Definitely, I'm on board with that. Um, and I think I've been saying a few times, whatever you got to do to stagnate Randle and Brunson's minutes. I think one area Tibbs has still been really bad is playing guys a whole quarter so that they both have to sit at the same time. You know, and I guess you might have to sacrifice a good first quarter. Maybe that's why the Knicks have been starting really well. He's playing Brunson and Juju the whole first basically, and the entire third. And getting gas to start the fourth, fam. Yep. One key area that could address that is the trade talk tonight. We'll talk about it with that situation coming up. We've got so many names to go through, fam. Gary Trent. I like the sounds of Mo Bamba. Jay Crowder, I wouldn't be against right now. I like Josh Green, Doug McDermott. Plenty of names that could help this bench unit right now. Grayson Allen, some shooting that could come up in here and do some things. We have OG, one of the biggest names now, starting to get talked about in terms of who's interested. The New York Knicks, not surprisingly, with Tom Thibodeau and the style of play, he suits that. Reggie Bullock, familiar face. I think Josh Richardson could be had for the cheap, and I think Mikal Bridges could be had for the right deal. But one thing's that for sure, fam, I would shut the door on any IQ talk right now. The plus minus leader king for this team right now, super efficient, playing basically close to starters minutes. I think Emmanuel Quickly, if you don't already know, now you know he's arrived. Emmanuel Quickly's arrived on the scene right now, and executives, franchises around the league have recognized that right now. 5 assists, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, plus 14, 9 points, 27 minutes on 50% shooting. Ladies and gentlemen, Emmanuel Quickly's a New York Knick and he's here to stay. He's a keeper up in here, fam. If Brunson goes down, he could be a starting point. If Brunson's here, he's an elite 6 man. Let's go. Man, you can't ask for anything better than that for a 25th overall selection. Chat's buzzing up in here. Smash that like button. New York Knicks are in the thick of this season, and we're talking about this trade buzz. Let's go. Canal says Fournier, Dallas pick our first next year. The Bucks pick for OG. Certainly the Dallas pick is probably one I would like to keep. This year is going to be stacked, this draft, fam. But the Washington, the Milwaukee, and the Detroit heavily protected, I wouldn't mind moving on from as well. Yeah. Dirty says, I don't think you could get OG without one of Grimes, IQ, or RJ. What do you think about Obi? Dirty and chat. The latest talk is that the New York Knicks and this is an unconfirmed report, and I haven't really seen it from a credible outlet yet. But there is talk that a top and couple of firsts package could be something that's been offered. Cam Reddish, like Canal says, would have to be in some kind of situation. One thing I'm looking at is the San Antonio Spurs too. You see Josh Richardson on the screen. Doug McDermott's available too, right? Now's go time for the Spurs tank, and I mean they want to go down. What use do they have for a Josh Richardson and a Dougie McBuckets? They have no need for them, so they're readily available. Let me tell you that. Second round picks is all it would take to get Josh Richardson or Doug McDermott. To be honest, I would prefer both of them ahead of Reggie Bullock and Chris Duarte. To be honest, we know both of them can get hot like grease lightning. With that said, man, Reggie Bullock been good lately, but he's been streaky most of his career. Grayson Allen, yeah, he's a spot up 3-point shooter. I'd be okay with that. I would ideally like more back. Still Dre, salute. Let's go. What y'all think about a Cam and Obi trade for KJ Martin? That's interesting. I'll try to keep Obi out of that, fam. But Cam and some picks. Cam and some second round picks. That's a lot though. Yep. Obi 6'9", Messiah loves that. Yep, definitely. Suits their up tempo game. Yep. And it'd be a nice trade out for a OG in terms of if they lost OG, they could play the same style. I think up and down, Pascal with Obi, fam. Scotty Barnes, Pascal, Obi. A multi-positional front court. Yet with that said, center position, that's still on my radar, ladies and gentlemen. We need help. I think Hartenstein, Sims can hold us down like they did last night, but it's no solid situation by any means. So if we could get a young center for the future, whether it's Kevon Looney, James Wiseman, Mo Bamba, let's talk about it. Jared Vanderbilt, let's talk about it. Zach LaVine, haven't heard as much buzz about Zach LaVine lately. The Bulls have kind of plateaued a little at 22, 25 at 10th spot right now. So they may want to, push a little bit, see what they can do with that. But Zach LaVine's 212 mil doesn't get me excited with that situation. It's tough. I think we can make upgrades for cheaper than that. A guy like OG would complement this team for less salary. Yep. Now, what do I make of the CAVS situation, ladies and gentlemen? I think Washington got to be smart, trying to do all that they can to keep CAVS because, yeah, he's a future NBA prototypical NBA forward right now. Can play the 3, the 4, can shoot it, got length, got size, all of that stuff. If they're serious about keeping Bradley Beal, trying to build some foundations around him, then Kyle Kuzma, Bradley Beal could be a nice start for them. Maybe they let KP go. Maybe they try to move on from KP, free up some extra cash with that situation. So I don't feel like Kuz would be available, or if he would be available, man, you're talking 2, 3 first round picks, and they're probably going to want one unprotected as well, which would scare me away with that situation. Canal would let IQ go, despite knowing that people love him for an unprotected Wizards selection this year. Anytime you're talking about unprotecteds, fam, you got to think about it. There's definitely a good chance in this crazy draft that pick ends up in the top 10 in this draft with the Wizards pick. Yeah, I love IQ, but I would consider that if it's unprotected. Yep. But yeah, it goes like Dirty says, it goes like top 12, then 10, then 8. This is a good draft, so they wouldn't do it anyways. Yeah, it'd be tough. It's tough. Let's see what Washington do as well. Just like the Bulls, I mentioned they're in 11th spot now, 5 games below. But if they get healthy, I think the Wizards are better than the Bulls, personally. I think the way KP, Beal, and Kuz can complement one another, I think trading Hashimura now will open up the door for Advida to play more freely. Of course, they got Kendrick Nunn back as well, which ain't much of a factor, but couple 3 second round picks. I think it was a fairly solid trade. Me personally, they obviously weren't prepared to pay Hashimura, who we know is up for a contract, man. And then you got Kuz, all of that stuff. So yeah, you're trying to prioritize Kuz. With that said, the one, the only Will Salkin in the building. Salute. Let's go. You're thinking we'll have a quieter trade deadline, but we do have to move Cam. Have to. Yep, definitely. I feel like a lot of people, fam, are mentioning Rose and Fournier too. I think that could be a sneaky situation to be had. Derrick Rose, we know he ain't getting younger. He wants to play. Evan Fournier's been a solid pro, a solid guy in the locker room. I think they'll want to try to do something well by him, you know. Um, Also, with that said, from all of us, the show, the chat, we wish, we congratulate Evan Fournier for the birth of his child. I think his birth of his second child, born in New York City. So he's a New York Knick, his son or daughter. But yeah, congrats to the Fournier fam. Salute to you, and I'm wishing you nothing but the best. With that situation, it's got to be tough. Your name's all over trade rumors, and you just welcomed in a kid. I think Fournier went on record to say he would be okay staying in New York City. Um, I guess maybe for the rest of the season, that might be the best thing. J Dragon, salute. Trade Frankenstein, give Sims more minutes, let Obi take Frankenstein's minutes, right? Completely agree. You're on point. Salute to you for that, man. You hit. Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, Hartenstein situational. I like that. Obi, Frankenstein, Sims more minutes. Now, there was talk that possibly the Clippers, iHeart's former team, interested again. So that's something to watch, fam. I would send him back to the Clippers if we could get something back. That'd be nice. It would free up more cap space for this summer as well. Barber Miller. Yep, interesting name. Definitely. Leonard Miller is a huge name as well. Jet Life, salute. Let's go. Give us your thoughts on this situation. Um, there's a lot of smoke near Toronto. Gary Trent, OG. I do think at least one or two of them get moved, fam. Um, the Raptors are so close to a good position in the lottery. Let's keep it a buck. Right now in 12th, out of the play-in, 6 games below. Fred VanVleet's balling out, right? Could now be the time to capitalize. Masai Ujiri's never scared of the moment. He's never shook. I think he could reconfigure that franchise real quick with Scotty Barnes, some young pieces. Maybe you get a couple of firsts for Fred, and maybe you get a few firsts for OG. Crazy lottery coming up. Bang, you're back in business again. So I think that's the smart move for the Raptors, man. They're going nowhere quick, and they're in quicksand right now with that situation. What do you guys think of that? Do you agree? Do you agree with what the Raps got to do? Yeah, personally, we give iHeart his flowers. I agree with you, Dirty. Last night, iHeart stepped up. Um, Maybe there's talk that that injury, the Achilles, iHeart's had, has set him back a little, and now he's starting to get more healthy, more spring in his step. Definitely, because there were times when we saw an iHeart that was extremely slow, and he's had more spring than that, previously. But the Sims' future direction's bright, like Jay says as well. Jeremy's in the house. Salute. How we doing, fam? Yeah, Will would love to move on from Rose and Fournier, But those are luxuries if we can. I feel like we definitely got to move Cam unless we're going to play him. Yeah, it's doing very wrong by him, and if we don't, yeah, agree, definitely. In no in this order, I think it's Cam, Rose, and then Fournier as well, because Fournier's had some action lately, and we know Tibbs is still open to playing him, in break glass in case of emergency. But it looks like all hell got to freeze over for Cam or Derrick Rose to even get on the floor. We've seen Archidiakono and we've seen Svi get minutes ahead of Rose. So, and those guys are injury prone as well. So I don't blame the organization for not playing them yet, until they're traded with that situation. Also, let's not forget how easy it is to trade Derrick Rose. There'd be a lot of contenders that would love D Rose on the end of their bench. Nice insurance policy, great guy for the playoffs, and a great mentor for young guys and all of that good stuff. D Rose could still give a team 12 minutes. He could still shoot. He could still do some things. Um, Speaking of must trades, Jay Crowder. We all know the league's worst kept secret. Jay Crowder is going to be on a new team soon. Um, the Josh Green one, I think the Mavs value him, but I still think he could be had. Luka's kicking up a fuss up there in Dallas, and they want to shake things up. They want to bring in some help as well. Would Cam Reddish and some pieces, some picks, tempt Dallas to lure Josh Green as well? I like Josh Green. I think he's got two-way potential, and he'd be a nice guy to take a flyer with as well. I think Josh Richardson and Dougie McBuckets, if they could be had for a second round pick, definitely bring them in. That would elevate our bench scoring in a minute. Yeah. Yep. Completely agree. Yeah. Not that I would think Cam's deserving of 25 minutes, but he definitely should be playing. Definitely should be playing at this moment, and he's been done tough this season. There's no doubt about it. Jeremy's looking at the draft. Targets Colby Jones, Chris Murray, Deron Holmes. Yeah, some nice names, fam. Definitely. We'll be talking about some more draft upcoming up, fam. I'm talking to a few people in the draft scene, and we're going to be talking about the Thompson twins, the wings in this crazy stack draft, right? The New York Knicks will at least have 1 to 2 picks, you would think, in the top 22 in this draft, and that's a good position to be in. Best believe that. Dirty says he thinks we end up tall end of the lotto, and draft guys a lot better than that with our pick, at least. Yeah. Our scouts are getting busy. As you guys may have seen, I've been posting, down here anyway. I've been hearing confirmation that the New York Knicks or scouts of the New York Knicks are in Australia scouting NBL leagues and scouting young developmental facilities, all of that good stuff. So the New York Knicks are worldwide. We're traveling. The Knicks have a full-time scout in Europe. The last we heard from Mark Berman, Kevin Wilson, the Knicks European full-time scout. So the Knicks are sparing no expense in terms of resources, and we've seen an uptick since Walt Perrin, since Brock Aller and co have come in. Right, our drafting has definitely got better. You can't dispute that right now. Yes, did we whiff on a few picks still? Absolutely. But where our drafting was compared to now, light years difference right now. And it warms my heart and excites me to hear that, the Knicks are overseas, the Knicks are looking at everything right now, looking for that next superstar. Don't matter if it's in Australia, in Japan, Africa, Philippines, anywhere. Greece again. Just find that next stud right now coming through. Will likes the idea of Josh too for Cam. Yep. Yeah, nice win now move for Dallas. 6'8" length for Dallas. Let's see what else they could get. Now, again, like we did, we gave Julius Randle his flowers right now. You guys think he's going to get in this all-star buzz, right? Brunson's plays tailed off. I think he's definitely been taxed, gassed, all of that stuff. Um, Brunson had minus 11, 14 points, 4 assists, and 1 turnover in 36 minutes. So yeah, he's coming to terms with being that one of the lead guys, handling the rock each and every night and playing full quarters, ladies and gentlemen. Ugly from Tom Thibodeau. Again, playing guys a whole quarter is tough on guys, It really is. You got to manage these guys better. Tibbs, right now. Julius Randle's built, we keep talking about his durability. Randle's built for a full 82, right? He doesn't take nights off, but a slender dude like Brunson, a smaller dude, seems to be struggling with the increased minutes right now. But no doubt Randle's carrying us as of late. And with the 3-point ball falling, it's wet. 8 of 12, man. Let that sink in. Julius Randle, man. When a team's going to learn to get up on Julius, right? Um, what do they think he's back? What do they think he's an old Julius with 30% from three, right? That's an old scouting report right now. Randall shooting at a great clip right now, one of the best in the league in volume threes right now. So he's killing it. He's draining it. Yep. Highlighting, Walt Perrin's changed things, fam. Changed things up for us. You feel good anywhere in the first round in terms of him picking dudes. Um, with Perrin 3 or 4 in the mid to late lotto is impressive. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yep. 2 of 2 with homers in the 20s as well. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. With Quickly, with Grimes. Now the Trevor Keels thing, that's a bit of a blip. Pick 42. I think we could have done better than that. But a lot of scouts did have Keels, in that range of a great fit, for the New York Knicks. So defense kind of is still this Achilles right now with Mitch out. Mo Bamba is a name that I would like to entertain, fam, because he's on the block. That's been confirmed by some reports right now. Orlando have a center. They have big men. Isaac's back as well. He could be a small ball 5. Mo Bamba as well. He's been talked about wanting to come back home. Harlem Zone. Let's keep an eye out for that. Malik Beasley is another name to watch. I don't know how willing the Knicks would be to engage Utah again. How crazy that's going to be with that talk. But Malik Beasley's been linked to the Knicks for a hot minute. So that's going to continue, I think. Those conversations could be had. Doug McDermott, again, has familiarity with MSG and is a good guy, good locker room dude, can score, can fill it up. He could help our ball movement. Let's keep it a buck. Doug McDermott, he's not going to set the world alight, but he is one of the best cutters and movers in the game. We saw it when the Knicks played the Spurs as well. Imagine Emmanuel Quickly, someone else, Dougie McBuckets running around with Obi off that bench unit. If he could be had for a second round pick or two, um, that would be something worth considering. But the Knicks could be going big game hunting right now. Yeah, the Knicks didn't even want anyone at 11, let alone 42. Yep, roster spots are scarce right now. You hit Tom Thibodeau, roster spots are scarce with that. Winter Fox is in the house. Salute. There honestly isn't a single realistic guy we could target at the deadline that you're interested in. Yeah. So you're cool just rocking out, giving Toppin all the minutes he can get, playing Sims more minutes, and get Quickly's minutes up to 30 as well. Definitely there's a lot of guys that would help with some scoring. But again, they're going to take shots away. Yep. Lateral moves. Yep. I still think with Tibbs and Leon here, fam, they're going to be looking for that help. Also with the Cam situation, they might just want a piece that can help them right now. We know picks are good, But how many picks do the Knicks realistically need? Let's be honest. How many picks? How many roster spots and players will the Knicks want to draft? We could have all these second round picks, but we're most likely going to use them in a trade. Yep. I mean, what's the asking price for Bamba, third string? He offers something different. I'm still a fan of a 5 who could stretch it. Definitely. Yep, you're all the way in on playing these dudes, man. Get their reps up. Yep. And keep drafting. If we're looking for role players like Bumber, OG, all the guys you named, just keep drafting. Grayson Allen for Cam would be a big win, even though he's hateable. Again, yet shooting never goes out of style. I agree. Not a fan of Grayson the person, but he's been clutch. Definitely big game guy. He's drained a few big ones at MSG and winning pedigree, playing on a championship caliber team. Definitely, I would try to coerce a little bit more out of that. Maybe Cam for Grayson and a second round pick back if we can. But yeah, shooting's good for the team, definitely. Spacing's key. Grayson has started with the Bucks and he can come off the bench as well. So let's say if Grimes needs a spell, RJ's on the bench, you could definitely play Grayson with the starters and give some spacing for Randle and for Brunson. I was a little bit surprised about it too, Winter. I think the Bucks, if they are willing to do that, then what's the end goal? To get athletic, lose some shooting around Giannis. It's still a wait and see. Definitely Mets, Knicks. Let's go. Yeah, if we can upgrade Grimes' position and put Grimes on the bench, we can be closer to a chip. With that said, yeah, I think if the timeline now is shorter, fam, Grimes in a few years' time with more development is going to be that starting guy for us. I still believe that. But if the Knicks are trying to win right now, then definitely Grimes ain't quite ready for a deep playoff run. I think ideally on the bench, I think would be good. Canal don't want no parts of Grayson on the team. Yeah, I could get with that. I understand. Definitely. He ain't the sexiest name. And at the end of the day, uh, is it a marginal move? How much is it going to help us, fam? I'll probably prefer a Jay Crowder, and I'm not even a Jay Crowder fan, but I think we need toughness, ladies and gentlemen. Shooting's good, but I think this team is getting out-muscled a lot of the time. Hustle plays, hustle balls. Defensively, we collapse under pressure. With that said, I think Jay Crowder could be that goon for us, a bit of that goon. Malik Beasley um, can bring some of that. Also, if you bring in Grayson Allen, what's it going to cost to get Gary Trent? Or could Doug McDermott do what Grayson Allen does, but move better across the floor? He could move around, all of that good stuff. Yep. But there is, heaps of other names. With that said, more reports coming out. The New York Knicks are more heavily interested in OG Anunoby. With that said, right, Tom Thibodeau kind of guy. With that said, give us a bit more size and a bit more length at that spot. Push RJ back to the 2, OG at the 3, Grimes at the bench. What do you guys think about an OG deal? Is there any world, any scenario that you would trade significant assets for an OG? Do you think he would get us a lot closer? Fam, let us know. I know Almighty's thoughts on OG, that's for sure. I think he could definitely help this team. But again, how capped out are we, in terms of this current team's ceiling, ladies and gentlemen? Reggie Bullock, again, that name doesn't excite me either. Streaky kind of shooting, right? And yes, we need an upgrade for McBride. I get that. Reggie Bullock, I don't know if he's that kind of guy. I would prefer a more playmaking scorer, a ball handling kind of scorer. Remember, again, if Quickly's out or IQ's got to fill in for Brunson, we need a guy off the bench that can run some offense, can handle some, and take some pressure off of that. If they trap and they tighten the screws as well. The upgrade we need is at the wing, not the shooting guard. Yep, size. Also, if a guy can start for the champs, yep, he can sure help the Knicks to be real. Yep. Yeah, I agree he could help. Yep, definitely. I think shooting can still help. Um, I'm just trying to get more multi-dimensional with this team as well. But yeah, Randle, they double team Randle or Brunson. He kicks it out to Grayson Allen. I feel good with that situation. Um, we all know, let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, as much as it can suck, Cam Reddish is a lost cause with this club. We got to think about what could we just get for Cam that could help. Any kind of help. Just not someone who's going to sit on the bench. Not get played with that situation. Um, Now, in terms of Cam's best home, there's talk. Everyone's interested. The Lakers are obviously out of the running now with Rui up in there, but you would have to think Dallas, Miami, Milwaukee. Um, which other teams could sort of be in the middle? Maybe an Indiana, maybe a Phoenix. Teams. If you do want to send Cam, maybe you send him out west. The Clippers. Let's keep it a buck. I think the Clippers could do with Cam, no doubt about it. Could the Kings do with Cam? We know the Thunder won't be interested. The Blazers, I think the Blazers are a team. They're trying to build around Dame. They're desperate. Definitely teams with their desperation meter on 100 could be interested in Cam for some help. Some wing help. Jeremy Grant goes to the bench. They got Josh Hart, but who else do they have? Um, with that said, I think the Spurs, Rockets, the Lakers, they've made their moves and they're gonna be sellers. The Lakers buyers, but the Spurs, Rockets will be sellers as well. The Suns, Mavericks, the Clippers out west, names to look out for with that situation. What do you guys think about um, the one, the only Elmer Fudd, Alex Caruso up in there? Talk that they would be open to keeping him. But I think Alex is definitely a player to watch. He's going to be on the move, I feel. Yeah. Winter likes OG as the player. He can help any team. That's facts. He was also drafted 23rd and developed internally. I like him too. I do feel like his game has a bit of a ceiling on it as well. A bit of a ceiling cap on that. And I'm worried about what it would cost to pay him to keep him. Yep. And then what do we think? Does that limit our ceiling, for the team, the flexibility, all of that stuff? A 22-year-old RJ is still growing. I'm banking on a couple of summer improvements for RJ to get to a solid level, you know, the way he's still prone to develop, at his age. Everyone knew OG was good, but he blew out his knee in college and dropped in the draft because of that. Mm. Yep. I like his toughness. That's underrated again. I keep mentioning the word toughness, but I want this New York Knicks identity to get back to that, ladies and gentlemen, because if you can get stops, you give yourself a chance, every night. Kevin's in the house. Salute. Let's go. On a team who's going for a chip, Grimes would be on because the guy who replaced him would be better via trade. I think this has been a key year of development for Grimes. Look for him to pop in probably 1-2 more years, I think. Then he'll be ready for the big time I think on a consistent basis right now. Will could also see Portland taking that flyer on Cam. Yep. It's all about those teams, fam, trying to compete right now and that need help right now. Pudge Nice, salute, salute. Knicks Nation rocking out the day after a big gritty win right now. This team still needs help, needs I think defensive help, some scoring, and some size, toughness. Bam. We got some pieces the league wants. Let's do some deals. Leon Rose, step right up. Metz is for the wing, but if that happens, RJ would need to be off the team. I think RJ's contract's quite solid, and I think the fact that his play could easily outperform that contract, I would still keep RJ around at the moment. RJ in an absolute superstar blockbuster trade is probably the most likely situation where he could be moved. Shot clock violations in the house, salute. Yeah, trading in your division is asking for trouble. Yep, absolutely. Let's stay clear of any Nets trade, and Toronto trades would be tough, definitely. Um, but if Toronto's trying to go south and blow things up, that won't be too bad. But who else have we got? Philly. I don't see us doing any deal with Philly. We got Boston as well. I struggle to see us doing any deal with Boston as well. In the conference, definitely I agree with that situation as well. Could be best to send him out west. Derrick Rose, Cam Reddish. I think Dallas could help. They could help Dallas for sure, man. Luka needs some help with that, and that's not going to hurt us as well. Josh Green is a name I like personally. Yeah, with this situation about shots as well, you want quickly getting enough shots. I think McBride's that guy. That's that weak link situation. But we ring this home. But Obi Toppin's being done dirty right now. Definitely. Two great games back to back, needing more minutes. 3-point ball wet, efficient, getting his spring back after missing, a few games. Obi's back with his spring in his step right now. That's giving us a nice punch off the bench. So let's keep an eye out on that, man. Obi's pressed to have that breakout game, man. I'm talking 20 plus points if he can stay out on the floor. But I don't know what Tibbs is doing right now with Obi, man. I know these games are tight, but trust him, you know. Yeah, with OG, he's definitely got some flaws, man. Yep. Let's not forget the fact that the Raptors are underachieving right now, but certainly pieces shuffled around could help with better fit, I think. Um, yeah, I do like a shooter fit with this squad. We know Randle, we know Brunson can get double teamed, and we know what happens if you don't double team them. If you don't double team Brunson or Randle, they're going to go to work and they're going to punish you. If you bring the double, we definitely got to swing that ball quicker, and we need more shooting. With that said, right now, most of Randle's great looks are coming from a set defense when they're sagging back, when they're sagging off. Randle can fire up, but we're not getting many great 3-point looks from those guys. That's not in the corner, not swinging the ball around. RJ's 3-point shooting's picked up of late as well. We'll give out grades tonight, but RJ's 3-point ball was 3 of 5 last night as well. So that's a thumbs up if you know what's up. Bully Barrett also hitting his free throws, 3 of 4 from the line as well. So I like that. I like that. Yep, this is absolutely what the Raptors should do, right? Sell some pieces, go south, build around Scotty as well. Maybe keep Fred if you want some veteran for a minute, but I think Fred Van Vliet could get them a couple of firsts, and that'd be nice. Tank, get generational wealth from this draft again, and go from there. We know they could build real quick with that situation. Yeah, full 82, that's the issue too. I think we react and overreact to a lot of different ups and downs performances of the team. I think we're just so passionate, man. We just want to find ways to make this team better. And we look at other teams' shiny pieces and we do think, oh man, how would that look with our dudes, you know. We do have a lot of great un, un, unhidden gems, hidden gems on our squad, you know, with quickly emerging now. Toppin's that dude that with regular consistency with shine as well. Like, I seriously feel like, you know, his value could have been way higher if we played Obi more. Um, Certainly not starting minutes, but 20 plus on a regular basis, fam. The Pacers could be desperate for OB services right now. Maybe the asking price could be higher if, you know, if we were doing it right. Almighty still wants OG all day, every day on this situation. I think Tom Thibodeau does want that as well, fam. We heard the reports that the Knicks are interested in OG. They're one of the teams to watch. Very interested was the report. Obviously, there's so many different sources at this moment. Some of it's smoke, some of it's fire. Let's see. Salute Stanley. What about reacquiring Nerlens from Detroit? He could play around 10 minutes, provide some rim protection. Last year's Nerlens was enough for a lifetime. Yeah, yeah, for a flyer, you know, wouldn't be bad. I feel. Um, could we still reacquire him? I know. I don't think we did. We trade Nerlens. Could we still reacquire him? Yeah, the Pacers, Raptors have a lot of inconsistency. Their fans aren't. Um, they're open to, yeah, to seeing something without Trent, Fred VanVleet. Definitely. When you're 6 games under, 7 games under, no no dude except your young draft pick should be off the block. With that said, I think Chicago should be in that same situation, man. Intense spot at 3 games under as well. They're they're the definition of delusional if they think something's going to change between Vucevic, DeRozan, and Levine. That's just not enough to get it done in the East, man. We've got the rebuilding Pacers better than them, the Knicks better than them as well. And I know they could highlight Lonzo being out. That's a factor, but he's not going to be that much of a difference maker, you know. With that said, they have missed Lonzo a ton. Yeah. No more hands of stone, right? Yeah, it was frustrating at times, man. You love Nerlens' hustle, heart, rim protection, but man, does he come with stone hands. With that said, yeah, we got RJ, yeah, starting to hit some straps. Like I said, man, start slow. I think this team's going to finish hot this season. I really do. Um, I really do feel like people underrate how long it takes to get into a groove, you know, 30, 40 games, people overreact, right? You're not getting much practice, you're traveling back to back, so you're on the road, all of that stuff, right? It takes a player a minute. It could take some 50, 60 games for the season to get their legs under them and to start hitting at a great clip right now. Let's continue to watch what Barrett does as well. Now, with that said, we'll continue the buzz. You guys keep throwing out your names that you want to see on or off the squad. And I'm going to go through the box score from last night. We'll give out our grades. We'll continue to chop up this squad, ladies and gentlemen, with this situation. Up on screen now. We'll start with the easy one. Julius Randle in his 38 minutes again, right? Hit his 14th 30-point game for the season. Like I mentioned earlier, he's just one shy of his MIP season already with 30 plus games remaining. Julius Randle will be an elite company right now. He'll be an elite Knicks company. With that said, you see on screen Patrick Ewing's highest franchise total with 36 30-point games, right? Julius Randle's on his way to 20 something plus right now, which is huge. 8 of 12 from 3. That's 2K numbers right there. 4 offensive boards, 4 assists. Had the 5 turnovers though, was a -10. Now, Julius could have moved the ball definitely at times. It got stale, stagnated, but Randle's toughness won us this game, right? No doubt about it on the glass. Uh, Hustling against the trees, all of that stuff. Um, I like the 3 personal fouls as well. So Julius Randle gets an A for last night's performance, man. Salute Jarvis. What's good, fam? Julius Randle's A from last night. He led us to victory against the trees. It was a tough matchup. Also, what I liked was 6 out of 7 from the line. Julius Randle hitting clutch free throws. You love to see that as well. Above all else, Mr. Durability as well, right? People could hate on Randle's game. Maybe they hate on his attitude. He's our star that doesn't take nights off, basically. He can take plays off. He doesn't take nights off. Uh, Mr. Durability, he plays heavy minutes. He can complain sometimes, but this year we're getting crazy production for that contract right now. When you look around the league, it's a situation where, you know, guys like Mikal Bridges is earning almost what Julius Randle's earning, right? So I don't understand how anybody can complain right now. With that said, we got guys earning $60 million, right? Almost 3 times as much as Julius Randle is earning right now. And he's giving you this kind of stat line. It's eye opening. With that said, could talk about Julius all night long. But with that situation, obviously it's heavily linked to Obi, and we'll get to Obi when we get to his grade in a minute. And I salute Mine Cushion in the house. Salute. Now with Randle's A, again, key areas of improvement would Randle continue to shoot the 3 ball when he's open, he's money, but move the rock faster as well. Move the rock faster with that. I think Randle's pushing it on the fast break. His decision making's got slightly better over the last 2 years this season. The rebounding's on a tear as well. But 4 assists. The way Randle's playing, Julius Randle could definitely be averaging 6-7 assists. Definitely. Now Jericho filled in at the starting spot again in 25 minutes. He was 1 of 1, -9, 2 points, had 4 rebounds. With that said, a lot of things Sim doesn't show up on the box score. It's a situation where he boxes out well. He sets good screens. He stays in front of his man on the switch. He's following the advice of the defensive scheme, the drop coverage. So we're definitely losing out on rim protection, and we're losing out on some blocks. But Sims made some crazy hustle plays, which I loved as well. He made a nice recovery, but also to prevent some layups as well. So that was key. Jericho, what can we say for a young player? He's getting valuable reps. He's developing, and he's going to get better. I'm glad he's getting this opportunity to start with Mitch out. However unfortunate the situation is, the fact is that Sims is a drafted player who's getting reps. That's solid. 25 minutes. He was sharing the minutes with Hartenstein. I think Sims is definitely more cognizant of not picking up fouls. That's another game with just 1 foul. I think it was the other game with 0 fouls. So Jericho seems to be looking away from contact a little bit too much for me. Don't under help. Don't worry about picking up a few fouls, I think, with that situation. But the fact is that him and Hartenstein weren't in foul trouble is definitely why the Knicks were able to win this game. Because, yeah, with lack of center depth, I think it's important that they both stay on the floor right now. It's critical. Yep. With that said, I'll give him a C plus for last night's performance. JB, a starting point guard, 36 minutes, he was 5 of 13, right? Again, we mentioned his usage, impacting Brunson's efficiency, no doubt, right now. Um, but in terms of shot distribution, 13 shots for Brunson, that was good. Barrett almost had as many shots as Brunson did. So Brunson was not hogging the ball at all. 13 shots, Barrett with 12 shots, Grimes with 9 shots, and Randle got the 21 shots as well. So I think the more gassed Brunson is, and also he struggled with their size, he was able to move the ball a lot more as well. Hit his free throws, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, 4 assists, a steal, just 1 turnover, just 3 fouls, and 14 points. So, um, not an awful game, not a good game. Jalen Brunson played his role last night. Again, 36 minutes. I'm glad it wasn't 38, 39, 40 plus. But with that said, he's definitely feeling tired with this situation right now. And he didn't have it too much last night with the trees up in there yet. So it was tough right there. I'll give him a B for last night. Now, RJ Barrett, right? As the chat goes through the situation with RJ's season, he got 33 minutes. He was 5 of 12, but 3 of 5 from 3 and hit 3 of 4 from the line. Now, he was 4 rebounds. We'd love to see that get up a bit more. 1 assist, would love to see that get up a bit more. 1 steal and 1 block, I love that from RJ Barrett. Making some hustle plays, getting his hands dirty, hustling, and getting steals and getting blocks. So RJ Barrett has so much more defensive potential right now, and I want to see him round out the rest of his game a lot more as well. Um, 5 of 12, it wasn't that inefficient, not too bad. 16 points, a solid night in the office in a supporting role for RJ Barrett. Um, the assists I really love to see get up a bit more, but he's not on the ball as much anymore now with Randle and with Brunson's usage. Barrett's definitely on the ball less, which is why he's playing more with the bench unit, you know, to get up to his 33 minutes. But yeah, solid 16 points, was the team's second leading scorer. RJ Barrett, he scores effortlessly. Um, Sometimes it feels like RJ hasn't scored at all, and you look up and he's got 24 points already. I know this has been said a lot, but I do feel like RJ Barrett does look a little heavy. He's a beast. He's big. Boy, is he big. He's a pseudo small ball four, PJ Tucker, Lou Dort kind of dude. He is stocky right now. Is Barrett, basically. Um, I don't know if that's hindering his movements a lot, but man, he is not built like a two guard. Basically, he is carrying a lot of size. Is Barrett? I don't know that helps him get to the rack. That helps him bully some opponents. Definitely, but it definitely hinders his ability to get around screens. Right? I mean, RJ Barrett completely dies on screens. Basically, I mean, he tries, but he's too long and too big to get over a screen right now. And most of the time he'll go under that. And also, like Stanley says as well, yeah, big problem staying in front of his man. Yeah, with lateral movement, fam, absolutely right. And that's no surprise. Look how big he is right now, man. I'm surprised not enough people are saying it right now because he's built like a power forward, man. I've seen so many images with Barrett next to Randle, and man, like what was once a different kind of guy, but the size difference ain't that much at this point in time, man. I think RJ Barrett in 4 years' time might definitely be, playing a lot more of the four spot. With that said, unless he loses some weight, um, and yeah, it's going to hurt defensively. But again, that could be Barrett's strength. If you put him in the right positions, like I want him to be posting up, Right, mouse in the house. One thing that really, really frustrated me in the Atlanta game was you've got Trae Young and you've got DeJounte Murray, right? Two scrawny runts, no disrespect, right? Right. How were we playing offensively that game? We were playing into their hands right now. We was jump shooting right there as well. We should have spread the court out, right? Get whoever's on Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, get them down low and post them up right now, man. There's no matchup, right? Brunson would have backed down Trae Young. If you posted up RJ Barrett on DeJounte Murray, he would have backed him down as well. Now, if you needed to get Grimes off the court, then you might have to have done that because, Murray would try to hide on Grimes. But yeah, with that said, I think we could have exploited them a lot more with our size. With that said, man, like I said, you look how skinny DeJounte Murray is, really. He's long, but he's slender. Trae Young is a runt as well. So I don't think we targeted the mismatch enough on the Atlanta game, you know. Jarvis says, I think RJ bulked up because he knew he was going to play some of the more of the three spot. Yeah, good point. Good point, Jarvis. Yeah. My concern is, yeah, when he's out on the top of the 3-point situation on the pick and roll, he's definitely, like Stanley said, struggling laterally to get back, get over a screen, and also contain the blow bys as well. A lot of threes do move real fast still. Yeah, I like this too. Tibbs should let RJ cover the power forwards because he could more than handle his own. Facts. Have Julius and Grimes covering some of the wings. Yep. I like that situation, yeah. Because again, laterally they're okay. Julius can contain some dribble drive like he has been. Yep. And teams know this. Best believe they've got elite scouts watching every single minute of every single game, right? This is no disrespect, but every team in the league would know that RJ Barrett can struggle getting over a screen. And what do? They try to exploit things. What do the New York Knicks do to try to exploit things on the other side? You know, you've got a 6'7" mountain as a 2-3 guy as well. Get him down low, post him up. Right now, RJ Barrett's been misused. Right now, he's basically a dribble drive to the cup, or he's a catch and shoot guy as well. Uh, we should have absolutely pounded Atlanta, old school style, down low. Because, yeah, there's no way DeJounte Murray could have hang with RJ Barrett down in the low block, with that situation, right? You could have put Obi and Randle out there, get them to stretch it, get them out in the corners, bring their man out, and post up RJ, down there. Allah's in the house, salute, let's go. Yep. Bully ball wasn't working on the bigger, longer, and more athletic threes, so RJ felt he had to bulk up. Yeah, I'd love for a beat writer fam to ask him this as well. That's some really great insight. Is to because yeah, you guys basically acknowledge like RJ Barrett's big. I think he's got to be the highest playing weight I've ever seen him right now. A lot of that could just be natural maturity. 22 years old, man, he's still a growing man. Um, Part of me feels like we're going to have this conversation a lot more in the future because RJ Barrett in 2 years' time is not going to be smaller. He's just going to be bigger and bigger and put on more muscle. So I like these small ball four lineups, fam. Yep. Yep. RJ bulked up when I think he should have slimmed down a little. Yet to guard wings, he should definitely be at a slimmer playing weight right now, fam. Again, in terms of getting around screens and all of that stuff, right? RJ Barrett has the tools to be one of our best perimeter defenders, but at his current playing weight, I think it's tough right now. You see the way Deuce and Grimes can get over screens, and it's worlds apart from RJ, just because he's so wide and and in terms of his chest as well, the girth of his chest as well, getting over picks almost impossible for RJ. Yep. So David's saying you don't feel like he has trouble staying with his guy. With that said, yeah, I've got to pull up some of the numbers, but Allah says, what do you think about Randle wave to the crowd last night, man? I might have missed that. Yeah, Allah, appreciate you. Let me know what went down. I might have missed that situation. At what point of the game was that as well? Cover the spread. Salute. Let's go. He ranked in the upper echelon in isolation play. Yeah, he's got good length. Certainly, RJ in the low block, you can't really bully or post him up. I mentioned guys like PJ Tucker. He's a 6'6" power forward. You know, guy like Marcus Smart as well. Even people struggle backing him down. You know, you saw Toronto put Kyle Lowry on KP. Remember at that point, man. Remember KP struggled to back down Kyle Lowry with that. It works in the quarters 1 to 3. Fourth is another story. Yep. Nick Yak, salute. RJ bulking up to help at the 3. He definitely will end up at the 2 though, and will thin out. Yeah, so you feel like you'll go the other, you'll slim down. Yeah. Love this RJ Barrett conversation. The chat's buzzing as well. Do us a favor, smash that like button. We talk about this thing all night long, and give out more grades. Can't remember if I gave out RJ's grade. I think I'll give him a B. I think he's deserving of a B last night. You know, he's becoming more consistent, definitely. The 3-point shooting, catch and shoot's nice at the moment. He's becoming, legit threat. If you leave him open, 3 of 5 last night's no joke. It's the 2-point shots. When RJ Barrett's three's on, it's on. It's the 2-point shots, finishing at the rim, and mastering the mid range. The little floater push shot in his arsenal as well. But I love RJ to get some midi shots, back his man down, learn the 1-foot step back as well, because he can shoot over guys with that situation. So RJ a B. Now Quentin Grimes, 36 minutes, 4 of 9, 2 of 7 from 3, just 1 rebound. That's unusual for Quentin Grimes. So that speaks to the size of the Cleveland Cavaliers. If Quentin Grimes only gets you 1 rebound in 36 minutes, 3 assists was kind of below as well. 2 turnovers, minus 10, 10 points. So, we're seeing some limitations with Quentin Grimes' game based on his size. But as he gets bigger, older, tougher as well, he'll get the better of many opponents. I think he's still, going around the league. I don't think Quentin Grimes has played a full 82 yet, if we're keeping it a buck. So he's growing. He's earning valuable reps. He's going to be up and down, but he's part of this future of this thing right now. I'll give Quentin Grimes a C plus for last night. Yeah, C plus, B minus situation. Let's go. E. Gibson, salute. This team is still trying to build chemistry with the addition of JB, but it's clear we need some more horses with that. Not only that, but we're dealing with injuries, key injuries as well. J Boog in the house. Salute, salute, salute. The closer up in here. Salute. Let's go. Rocking out with us tonight. And the chat. Appreciate you, J Boog. Everyone out there, check out J Boog's channel if you haven't already on YouTube. Dropping hits like anything. We got My Sunshine out there. Man, salute, salute, salute. Big things coming, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hearing some stuff. J Boog, keep us in the loop. You already know what it is. We got GM up in here. Salute. We got Queen Steph, Dope Soul Sports Talk up in here, doing amazing work. Salute to Queen. and support her in that channel as well. Great Knicks talk with the NBK fam. Let's go. Grimes doesn't have that relentless energy on D lately yet. What you're seeing, fam, is a young player learning, to get through a full 82 with playing big minutes now. Yep. I think it's all in the gym, in the strength conditioning and the leg work. Fam. Allah's trying to get up that video, but Randle's wave to the crowd was when Randle told the garden, "Give me my flowers." How you missed that? Yeah, I was in and out of the game, fam, but appreciate you for that situation. Yeah, give me my flowers. I'm sure that was in reference to the voting as well, man. The All-Star voting. But yeah, Nick fans, the best, most passionate fan base in the world, definitely. Uh, we have long memories, though. That's the thing, man. It takes, like, Randall's having a crazy season, but for many fans, it takes a while, man. We got on Patrick Ewing for so many years, man. People never forgive John Starks to this moment, man, for game 7, ladies and gentlemen. So we got long memories up in here as well. But salute to Julius for what he's doing. Man, this is real. Shout outs to this. As Boogie's passion and energy has helped during really dark days. Not only that, but through the good times and bad. Right now, we stay strong up in here, and that's beautiful to hear. That's just absolutely beautiful to hear from many of us and Knicks Nation, Knicks communities. Man, this is strong up in here as well. Yep. Yeah, we got the link to Jay Boog's situation. Geraldine, let me pull that one up. I got you with that situation. Here we go. Yep, as you see up on screen, right? You could cop the latest hits from Boogie on his youtube.com/jboogie283. That situation, man. The album out, some more hits on the way. Absolutely. Now we got OG talk continuing. Josh Richardson off the bench. Yeah, Josh could be had for cheap. I like that. I like that situation with Josh Richardson. Even McDermott, if he could be had for a second round pick, I would do it. Yeah. Jarvis is on board with OG. It's all about what would it take, doing deals with Masai Ujiri. Let me tell you, that's no joke. I wouldn't be surprised if Leon Rose, Scott Perry, and that don't have the energy in them after dealing with Danny Ainge for so many months to have to stay on the phones to Masai as well. That's crazy. Um, Now we got to hit on before we give out the bench grades, and we'll talk about Obi and Quickly's crazy play. But before we get to that, we heard some reports that the New York Knicks would be a team to watch if Bob Myers was to become available. Like, I got to get your thoughts on that, everybody. What do you think of that situation right now, and the timing of that? You know, Leon Rose's tenure has been up and down, and the polls are a bit muddy across the fan base. But right now, how would you feel about Bob Myers and his track record with that situation? Right, cover says sign Bob Myers right now, man. What do you think of the report that the Knicks are interested though? Does that surprise you? Does that make you feel good that James Dolan is like, okay, like I'm loyal to my guys, but right now if I can upgrade, I'll upgrade right now. Yep, Spurs only won a second rounder at Facts. Pudge says get at Bob right now too. Yep. He knows what he's doing, knows what he did. Yep, Bob the Builder. Yep. So yeah, man, fans are hot on Bob right now, man. Yep. Got the full resume, drafting, building a winning contender, building a dynasty. All of that stuff, man. One thing's for sure, we know JD, James Dolan, loves the big name. Let's keep it a buck, right? Leon Rose was pres of CAA, and we got him in here. Bob Myers knows what he's doing, right? This could be a whole nother show in itself right now. Yep. Every day would be Halloween with Myers up in here. Oh, Jay Boog with that situation. I tell you what though, think of yourself as Bob coming into a situation like we got with draft picks, with young players, right? The table is set, all right? It's like you walk in after a long day of work, right? And the table is set. You got steak, you got vegetables, you got gumbo, you got fish, you got everything there right now. You got your favorite liqueurs, favorite drinks, all of that stuff, man. For a Prez GM of that experience and skill set coming into a situation where the cap situation ain't too bad. We got draft picks, 7 in the next 3 years. We got flexibility. I mean, it could be enticing for that situation. For that, Leon Rose, yeah, he's going to make a big name for himself this trade deadline though, because let's keep it a buck. It's his third trade deadline right now, and yeah, it's a situation where there's a lot that needs to be done. Um, to set the table for the draft and set the table for the rest of this season right now. But one of the biggest things so far this season that we got going for ourselves is Julius Randle's play now, right? A guy with no trade value heading into the season is now about to eclipse his 30-point games from the MIP season with 14 right now, and 15 was the target. So right now, Randle's going to be an elite Knicks company right now. Randle's here to stay, it seems, but that's a big win. The fact is, a dude with no value right now has value. So you you got to speak to that right now. Yeah, Will Barton. Will Barton's interesting. I prefer Josh Richardson for that bench piece. I like his shot making, ball handling as well. Josh Richardson with quick and with RJ getting bench reps as well. That would help us out. Um, I don't think there's any chance they hurt the relationship with Brunson by getting Myers right now. Yeah, I agree. Yes, let's go, Geraldine. Let's get them subscriptions up. Facts. Jay Boogie doing work out there, man. Dropping hits for us, the community, as well. Dropping knowledge. Draft and free agency. Nick Yak says the best way to keep building, keeping assets. Yeah, I think a lot of the fan base are in the middle right now in terms of how much do we upgrade this team this season? What makes sense for me? For me, it's like low cost moves that could just help complement what we got, right? Don't take crazy minutes away from Quickly. Don't take minutes from Barrett. Um, if you want to take minutes from Deuce, that's okay. If you need to take some minutes from Sims, I understand. But basically get some solid bench help, some toughness, rebounding, scoring. With that said, the Crowders, Grayson Allen, I don't mind. He can shoot. Uh, the moves like Gary Trent, OG, a bit more, serious on that end. With that said, yeah, Dirty says there should be a big difference between wanting to upgrade RJ, which is understandable, and just wanting the dude off the team completely. Yeah, yeah. Teams, fans, you know, take to certain players' games. I'll say that. Randall's game's very old school. Pound the rock, back to the basket kind of thing. Obi Toppin's game is a crowd pleasing type situation, flashiness, all of that. But Barrett's just got to be efficient, and I think work on his defense right now. He could score effortlessly. Will Barton is a name, yeah. Washington, right? He's on Washington. I think, um, yeah, he could be a situation where he's surplus right now. Look for Orlando, too, fam, ladies and gentlemen. I think Orlando is a situation coming up where it's going to be a, a place where you could, swoop in and get a nice piece, to help you out. Um, the Bullock one doesn't excite me. Duarte's been too inconsistent. Uh, Alex Caruso could be a nice low key pickup. Grayson Allen, like I said, if we do, I'm not a fan of Grayson, but if we do have to lose Cam, we definitely need a rotation player with a skill set that complements what we have right now, which is the shooting. With that said, right, we need more consistency, more shooting, but we need toughness too. Grayson Allen doesn't address much toughness. He's dirty, but he's not tough. Deuce McBride does bring some of that toughness. As we give out the grades for Toppin, right? 10 minutes, 4 of 6, 2 of 3 from 3-point land, plus 12, right? Every player on the bench was in the plus. So that's a roles reverse from what we've been seeing, fam. With 11 points, it's been amazing to see Obi get back from the injury now and build some consistency, in such small minutes. That's a credit to him. You definitely see him in the gym. He's been working on that 3-point ball. It's been going splash lately. He had that deep one in the corner falling out of bounds. That was a huge 3 from last night. So Obi's hitting timely shots over the last like 3 games now. Tom Thibodeau, what are you doing? Right? Especially approaching a trade deadline, such a young asset like that, right? He needs to be more than 10 minutes. There's no doubt about it, right? Um, get that man's minutes up right now. Any way you have to. With that situation, go smaller if you need. Up and down style. He could get the scoreboard ticking over. Can Obi as well. So right, he gets a B plus for me right in his minutes. Yeah, and this is a poignant thought too, because the way Obi stayed even keel, just does what he does. He's a young guy still, obviously in the league, but him and his agent definitely got to be thinking about what's next, man. If Obi is a better man than me, I would demand out if I was hitting three threes a game and getting 10 minutes. Yep, 4 threes in Toronto, fam. That was insane right now. And we do got to keep it a buck though. He's been streaky. Remember, he came out hot. The start of this season was he was raining threes. Then he went into a mini slump. But now he's definitely back. He's been working on it, man. He's Obi, and I salute that young man because yeah, he's been putting in the reps in the gym, no doubt about it, right now. And yeah, he gets a B plus. Now we got to give Isaiah some flowers too because one of his best games as a New York Knick. Again, he's heard the talk and the shade, and he stepped up, last night. And we don't win last night without Sims and Hartenstein's production. And he was 2 of 3 right now. Didn't attempt a 3 ball, but got 3 offensive rebounds, 9 in total, with 4 assists from your center spot. So that's great. That speaks to the capabilities that Hartenstein can distribute. A lot of talk. Hartenstein's been underused this season, definitely. Because our offense ain't nuanced right now. Players aren't moving and cutting. The ball's not flowing enough for Hartenstein in the middle. Um, Also, Hartenstein could be the key to breaking a zone open as well, right? He flashes to the middle. He's got the height to catch the ball, and then bang, he could lay it off to any of the cutters as well. That's how you break open a zone as well with that situation. Obi can also break open a zone. Again, you flash to the middle, you catch the high pass, and you let the guards cut, and you start getting some ball movement, man, some scrambling, some screens. So yeah, 4 assists. I like that. 1 steal, 1 block. A key play down the stretch. The league office came out and said it was a foul in the last 2-minute report. Absolute bogus. Again, we heard that BS enough, but fortunately it wasn't called. Spider got stripped, and it was game ball. It was game. So Isaiah stepped up, plus 11, just 4 points though, but playing tougher as well. I mentioned, he's dealt with an Achilles, sort of injury that set iHeart back this season. Could we be seeing a situation where that's starting to heal up and he's getting more bounce? Let's see. But also, I was thinking this to myself too, fam. All these players start to pick up their play just a little bit heading into the trade deadline. You don't want to read these tweets, the news reports, all of that stuff with your name all up in it right now. So everyone got a fire up in their thing right now to play better, I think, heading into this trade period, because Hartenstein's trying to settle into a team, into a role right now. And then this talk suddenly he could be back on his way to the Clippers. Yep. Obi could work on his handle, pump fake, get to the rim. David says if Obi not hitting threes, which will happen soon, why he here? Yeah, he is streaky, definitely, but I think the main topic is he's deserving of more minutes right now. Allah says he's a good backup who's getting better, in my opinion. Not a big deal though. With this said, what do you feel about his trade value, fam? You feel like we've done bad? We could get that back up. Yeah, it's just tough, man. I guess no one accounted for Randle to be the way he is. I put it like the Cam situation. It just needs to be rectified. I think now's the time right now. Play him more minutes, get his trade value up, or play him more minutes so that you could see how he fits into the future. But for 10 minutes, you can't do either. And Hartenstein's grade, I'll give him a solid B plus because a B plus. He stepped up. Now Deuce McBride, 12 minutes, 3 points, was a plus 13 though. So again, the bench chipped in, played gritty defense as well, helped turn the tide in this game because the Knicks were outworked. Fast break points down 7, points in the paint were down 14 right now, and 5 more turnovers. So the Knicks had to work to get some stops with this situation. Now the bench production was why we helped us win last night. McBride didn't do anything on the scoreboard, but 3 assists I like, and 1 of 2 from the field. So, 3 assists. Deuce McBride, 12 minutes. He's just filling in. I think at this point in time, if I'm being honest, I think Deuce is just chipping in and playing a role. He's biding time right now. I think post trade deadline, he'll be back to situational, and I think Leon Rose is going to make that upgrade. Whether it's a starting piece with Grimes on the bench, or it's a replacement for Deuce McBride and his production right now. Allah's not trying to move Obi, but just move Cam, Fournier. If we can let Rose expire, cool. Yep. If not, move him too. Yep. I think D Rose will probably be gone with Cam. I could see Fournier staying. To be honest, I'll tell you why. Because that $18 million is expiring next season, and that's gives you flexibility in the off season, draft night, and also in the next trade deadline, man. That $18 million could be an expiring weapon as well. And only that, you're not getting anything of any value for Fournier, right now with that. If we can't trade Rose, I wouldn't be against waiving him too. Certainly Cam, that's a fireable offense if you can't trade Cam for at least a pick. But yeah, with Rose, it's a situation where you want to do right by a legend, a Hall of Famer soon to be as well. You want to let him choose his destination if you can't trade Rose to where he's going to get to, yeah. But yeah, man, watch out for the Magic. Absolutely. Isaac back, picks, all of that stuff, right? So the last man We give out a grade 2 tonight, and we freestyle and talk about the road ahead, and also the trade buzz continues as well. Now, Quick was 27 minutes, so Mr. Consistency again. And I'll read out this stat, right? Quickly's been the plus minus king. Last night, best player plus minus. Over the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, the plus minus king is Emmanuel Quickly, right? Arguably, you could make this case right now, is Quickly the best two-way player on this squad right now. Defensively, huge boost. Offensively, he's on fire right now. 4 of 8, 1 of 2 from 3, gives you rebounding even, 5 boards, 6 assists, plus 14, 9 points. So, no surprise, teams around the league calling Leon like crazy right now. Now, he's a keeper, like I said. Emmanuel Quickly needs to stay in New York Knicks. Right, these guys don't grow on trees, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we have with this kid. Let's develop him. Let's keep him around. He can fill in for Brunson when Brunson's out as a starter, and you don't miss a beat. He could stay as that 6th man as well for the get-go. Jay Boog, salute. Appreciate you too. I appreciate you, fam. Keep dropping that knowledge. Keep dropping those hits. Let's go, man. Big season as well. Jay Boog, we got to get you on the show as well. I'll hit you up. We'll talk about this thing, fam. Hope you and your fam's well. Let's get it. Do you think the Knicks make plus or minus 2 trades before the deadline, fam? Plus or minus 2 trades. I think it's 2 trades. Yep, definitely. Yep. I think they're going to be more active than people think, fam. Yep. I'm not shy to go out there and say that, man. Yep. Definitely. I think the Knicks are going to make multiple moves. I really do. Yep. I think our bench unit, the whole thing could look completely different right now if I'm keeping it a buck. Right now, I think 3rd year of this regime, right? Not too many roster spots available with all these draft picks available. Who knows what they want to do with these draft picks? I think they want win now talent. Right now, me personally, I think they want to win now talent. Now, it might not be multiple huge moves, but it could be like a situation where they do bring in the Grayson move, and then they bring in a Josh Richardson, or they bring in Josh Green, McBuckets, or Jay Crowder, and another guy. I think also backup center as well. We've got to look at that situation, right? What would you guys do with Hartenstein? Let's say LA Clippers call you and say, hey man, Leon, you stole Hartenstein from us. We wanted him all along. You're misusing him. I'll give you a 2nd round pick and an ex role player, or I'll give you 2 2nd round picks for Hartenstein. Are you guys pulling the trigger on that? Yep. Let me know, because that's got to be tempting. But with Mitch out, I kind of agree with this. It's tough unless you can bring in another move, man. Also, the odds that Obi could get traded, fam, I'll put that at 50-50. I really feel like that's 50-50 Obi can get traded. It's very, very realistic right now. He's popping. Maybe that's just gave him a little boost in trade value to Indiana right now. Willen's in the house. Could be for a name like Duarte and co. Let's go. Let's go. Tim's in the house. Salute, fam. Proud of you too, fam. Let's go. Hope everyone's well out there, man. Let's get it. Give us your thoughts on this trade deadline. What would you want to see this club do? 3 games over 500, right? We're about to chop up the road ahead in these games coming up. About to get the thoughts of everyone in terms of the moves coming up. Julius Randle doing work this season. Brunson coming in here, making an impact on this franchise. I think a lot of internal growth can let this franchise take another step closer to contention, not into that next tier, but if Barrett and Grimes have a huge off season, I could see the Knicks going into that fifth and sixth kind of tier next season. We're a superstar away, I think, from contention. Josh Hart is a name that Tom Thibodeau has longed for, fam. Definitely. Parrish is in the house. Let's go. Leon going to use up all our draft capital to free up cap space for free agency. Kuz Donovan is coming. It's a plan. Parrish got moves, man. Spelling it out. You know, they've not been shy, dishing out draft capital, man, to free up space. Maybe they do it again. Also, we do have the draft scouts, though, man. They could be putting in some work with Leon's ear and saying, no, 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 don't move no picks right now, right? We're about to do more content on all of these wings coming up. The Thompson twins as well. All these other dudes with that situation, man. What if Dallas fall a little, man? A Luka injury, who knows, man? We got Dallas's draft pick. I know it's top 10 protected, but that could end up in the teens. Man, that's sexy if we end up with a pick in the teens. Right now, I'm telling you, this draft is legit. There's no doubt about it. Any dude in the top 15 has all-star potential. And then some. He would like to see the front office make some aggressive moves, especially with our wealth of picks. Yep. That's what I'm predicting too, man. I'm predicting moves right now with Leon Rose. Again, the table's kind of set where he could definitely strike right now. Whether it's multiple minor moves or a bigger move, I think there's going to be moves, fam. I really do. And let's look at the track record. Leon ain't been shy. He made the move for D Rose in year 1. He made the deal for Cam in year 2. So this ain't Phil Jackson falling asleep. He's made moves every single year. And this year, we look even more likely to make a move, Mind and OG want to get that shake up for OG. Let's see what happens, man. I think there'll be so much back and forth in this front office with Tibbs and the relationship with Leon. How much is Tibbs going to have input? That's critical because he's coaching this team, and no doubt Leon's going to give him input, right? It has to make sense, right? Leon should have learnt from the Cam thing, and he should go to Tibbs and say, "Man, I've got this move on the table, A, B, and C. What do you think right now? What do you think? Those two need to be in sync. Those two need to be speaking right now." Salute Cormega. Let's go rocking out midweek on this thing after a big win. Let's go. We've got some big games coming up, man. Some blockbuster Eastern Conference rivals coming up with Boston and with Brooklyn. Salute, right? Knicks fans in the building right now at the Barclays. National games coming up thick and fast, man. We got All-Star buzz, trade buzz as well, non-stop buzz. We're no stranger to dealing with Dallas, man, with the Mavericks right now. Dirty would at least offer the Dallas pick to see if you could get a guy who could help now, and we have control for a little while. That's definitely a sweetener for a lot of teams, man. That Dallas pick right now. Let's look at the West, man. Dallas in sixth position right now, and I'm pulling up the Tankathon right now as Dallas's pick to the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, currently sits in 17th with projections of Tankathon's mock, which is often way off or a bit outdated, but the Knicks have Chris Murray, power forward from Iowa State as well, with crazy talent. So let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen, man. Dallas are in 6th in the Wild Wild West. It's crazy out there right now. You got the Suns on their tail, the Jazz, the Warriors right now. And they could end up worse. They could, do we want to think twice about helping out the Dallas Mavericks, right? Let that sink in. As Parish Duggar drops us a super chat. Parish, appreciate you, your support, and our thoughts and knowledge. Buzz, let's go. Just a little something for us, man. This is for us, fam. Great show. Appreciate you, fam. Let's go. Let's get it. I love your thoughts on this situation, Parish, too, because yeah, you've been a fan, been rocking out for a minute, and yeah, your wise thoughts appreciated with this. Yeah, keep the dialogue going, man. Keep the buzz. Yeah, so this Dallas pick's got everyone going crazy right now. Anyone else that's just come through the chat, but Trini's up in here, salute. Yeah, so that caught me by surprise a little bit. I thought the Dallas pick would be a bit higher, but yeah, 17. That's something to really consider, fam. When you're looking to maybe trade up, maybe the 17th and the 20th pick get you something crazy. Like it's seriously, yeah, there's a lot to think about right now, man. The front office has got to be doing work overtime right now. They got scouts in Australia right now. We have confirmation. Let that sink in right now. Our drafting resources are on another level that we haven't had in years past. Like, best believe that right now. This game's international, and franchises don't want to miss out on the next Wemby, the next Giannis, the next whoever it is, whichever country right now, man. You want to be 1 step, 3 steps ahead of the game right now. Willens dropped us some knowledge too with Duarte with 6 steals. Yep. Best believe what I just said, man. Everyone picks up their game heading into the trade talks as well. Tim asks, what do we think about going after Clay in the off season? You think he would be a good fit? Yeah, it'd be scary with the contract size, but Clay's absolutely back, baby. He's back. He's play. Yep. Champion, experience, all of that. I'd love to do some medicals though, fam, and just make sure that knee's all good. All good, fam. You see Joe Ingles though, crazy talk. He's come off an ACL less than 12 months. Salute to Joe Ingles. So he's at 35 years of age. Joe's come back hot. So people can do it. People were worried about KD's Achilles, but KD looks good as ever before he went down as well. I was thinking this too, fam. Imagine there's such a crazy war for IQ that we get a crazy offer, but what is that crazy offer? 2 first-round picks. Would you pull the trigger on that? Would hate to lose him. B's in the house, salute. And Danny B, salute. Nick's morning drive. Let's go. Yeah, with the quickly one, like it's just one of those things where we have an affinity for a player we drafted. We've traded guys too early in the past, and they came out, and produced for the rest of their career. So my thing is like, unless it's a crazy offer, I just want to see us keep a player just for the sake of it. Just finally let that player achieve their potential with the New York Knicks, and not someone else, for once and for all right now. Yep, looking at Kai Soto, looking at Rayan Rupert, who's currently mocked in the 23rd selection. He's a projected first round wing from France. Again, that's going to get people riled up. But what do you guys think about the potential of the Knicks scouting a French player who has the same agent as Evan Fournier as well? Also, what I would think about though, I wouldn't read a lot into it because the Knicks drafting scouts are getting paid. They have to do some kind of work. Uh, it may not mean that we're interested in drafting all of these picks, but we're just doing our diligence, keeping our eyes out there for what's out there, man. You never know. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, in the draft, you see stars come out of the late first round, mid first round, second round. Right, this year is going to be absolutely a crapshoot right now. I'm looking at Anthony Black projected in 15, Derek Whitehead 15, 16, right? Taquavian Smith, which I'm not sure of the injury status on him, so prayers up. But we got Dick, George, Cam Whitmore, possibly outside of the top 10, Nick Smith, Thompson twins as well. We're getting closer to the draft talk. Can't wait. Yeah, DeMarcus Cousins is a tough one. I think he would probably climb onto a contender, I think, at some point. Let's go. Yeah, we don't need Evans, next door neighbor. Taylor Hendricks. Nice name. New Yorker salute. Let's go. So I think Kuz is staying. Crowder's going to be had. Malik Beasley can be had. Gary Trent can be had. You guys tell me from these names. A lot more people are open to Grayson Allen than what I expected. I think the shooting people can come around to. OG's two-way play is salivating with this squad. I think Zach LaVine's probably not going to get moved this offseason. I could see Caruso, Reggie Bullock, Josh Richardson, and I could also see Phoenix definitely shaking things up. I think Mikal Bridges and his salary's on the block, or DeAndre Ayton. I really feel the Suns are like 500 right now, man, which is crazy. As I'm about to pull up the road ahead on the screen right now, as you see, fam, we've got Boston, Brooklyn, LA. Looking like LeBron won't be at the close to the record yet for that game. He's going to have to average 43 points, I think, in the next few to get close. So let's see with that. But Miami, the Clippers, Philly, Orlando, and Philly right now. The Knicks just need to climb to the deadline at 500, right? And then there's plenty of things out there. Tim says, what do you think about us trading Obi, Cam, Hartenstein, and 2 numbers for Big Cat? The big dog, man. I like Cat's shooting. I like his ability to stretch it, man. Obi, Cam, Hartenstein, and 2 number ones. If they're 2 protected number ones, not unprotected, I'd think about that. But yeah, I think with Mitch here and the season he's had, that might be a next season kind of thing, man. What do you guys think about Cat? Let us know. Buzzers no grace and hashtag. Yeah, man. The Knicks would have a target on their back. Best believe that, man. Can you imagine? Grayson trips someone up in the garden, man. It's on with that situation, man. Having said that, man, the Knicks do try to keep their cool, I haven't really seen Randle, RJ, Mitch even getting in no scuffle. What do you guys think about that, man? Knicks players keeping their cool. We see a lot of trash talking now. We see a lot of people in the front row pulling up social media, trying to get something going right now. I mean, yes, Randall yaps. Yes, he gets frustrated. But we haven't seen dudes get teed up in a minute. We haven't seen dudes get ejected. All of that. Like if we had a Jay Crowder, best believe that something like that would be happening. Mook Morris, some of these games getting hot right now. Someone would be getting into it. Mitch can get into it a bit, but he keeps his cool. He keeps his cool. They're scared of Randall. Yeah, Man, don't blame him, man. He splits lips with his dunks. With that, man. He's a bully, man. The 90s Knicks, yeah, would get into it every game, man. Stark, Stock, Mace, Oak, you know it. Ewing. Yeah. Tibbs got to go. Lost this team, right? They need a new voice. Yeah. I think that could be an off-season thing now, fam. I think let's see how the playoffs play out, the play-in. But if we don't make some significant noise, I think that the door is definitely open for Tibbs to go. Yeah. It depends how desperate Mini gets, but a Randle in a cat trade is going to be crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. You don't think you'd do that one either, though? Yeah, not at this point in time. I mean, the production Randle's giving you plus other assets. Yeah, I think it's better to hold off on that, fam. Yep. I think we'll know. We hold off another year, I think, or less. We'll know the next go-to move. I think. Dudes become available. Let's just play out this season, right? Let's see what happens with the rest of this season, the development, um, what happens post deadline, pre deadline, all of that stuff right now. One thing's for sure is that the poignant thing is dude's value's gone up, man. Julius Randle now about to eclipse his MIP season with 30-point games, right? Just one away right now. The franchise record is 36, right? You see some names there. We had Stat with the crazy 2010, 2011 season. Stat had 22 30-point games. A lot of them was the pre-Melo trade as well. We have so many beloved Knicks. Bernard King with 2 crazy seasons as well. We have Melo's 25 and 31 seasons. How many do you think Julius can get to right now? He's on 14. I think he's going to get to 20 easily. Probably in the next 15 games, he'll get to 20 right now. And he'll have like another close to 20 games left after that. So let that sink in. And he's having a crazy season, franchise record season right now. He's Juju, and he's deserving of an all-star. I think he'll be robbed if he doesn't become an all-star this season. Yeah, some people for keeping Tibbs, some think it's a culture change. Yep, we do keep moving on from coaches, which is frustrating. But I think this would be in a different situation. Like Tibbs has done a decent job at setting the table for the next guy, whereas most other guys that got fired, it was a catastrophic, you know, season down the drain kind of thing, like David Fizdale, an atomic bomb. I think Tibbs getting fired would be more. I'd be looking at it like it's setting the table for the next guy, kind of thing. So I don't think it would be the same kind of turmoil with that. It's just we need to advance in the league. We need to get creative. Uh, we need to evolve with sets. Neither Randall or Cat have done it in the playoffs, dude. That's key. Definitely, man. That's key. Uh, Still reaching their prime, still though, as well. So, players' mental prime is like 28, 29, 30 as well. And I think that's why we're seeing a more mature Randall as well. Like, again, I keep saying people keep forgetting when Randall was wilding out, he was 26, 26, 27. Dudes 26, 27 still aren't in their mature mental primes yet as well. So I think Randall's going to start to process the game better as he gets older. He might slow down a little bit physically in terms of being that bull in a china shop. But I do think Randall's going to become more heady. Not saying Rajon Rondo heady or Jason Kidd heady, but I think he's going to start to process the game better at his later age. I think Karl Anthony Towns is more of a physical mismatch for us with the shooting, I think. Yeah, let's go. Chat buzzing out. Salute to everyone out here, Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing. Smash that like button. We here midweek talking about this thing as well. We got some draft content coming up, and we may have a guest on Friday night. So let's go. Friday night for once is an off day, no game. Of course, we play Brooklyn on Saturday, and we play Boston on Thursday. Right now, give us your predictions right now coming up to this stretch. The Knicks have shown they're capable of pulling out a tough game at home and on the road right now, but it don't get no tougher than at Boston and at Brooklyn right now. I'd take a split right now. Let's say we take an L in Boston, and let's say we pull off a big one. We get fired up, we get juiced up in the Barclays, and we snatch that dub from Kyrie Irving, right, with KD out right now. Um, I like a few pieces that the Brooklyn Nets got, but I don't see the Knicks and the Nets ever doing no trade because in years past, even Bobby Marks confirmed when he was in the front office with the Nets, those two teams just would never dialogue. And also, I can't see it happening. But if they were to move on from like a Patty Mills, Royce O'Neal, those are some names I would be interested in. Seth Curry could be interesting as well. Let's see what Brooklyn do with their injury situation right now. Yeah, I would take a split with Boston and Brooklyn. Then we got LA and Miami. We should beat LA. Let's go. We're at home. The Heat. I want to beat the Heat. Right. Beat the Heat with that. Beat Pat Riley. Let's stick it to them because the Heat now, as I look at the standings, the Heat are a game ahead of us in 27-22 in 6th seed right now. So that's going to have a huge swing in the standings with that Heat game as well. The Heat, like always, making a late run. I'm sick of it right now. Will age catch up to them? Let's see. I think Victor Oladipo resurgence has helped. I think Bam Adebayo All-Star plays helped, and Jimmy Butler started the season slow, right? Um, Kyle Lowry been a bit of a bust with the Heat, but I do think now I think there are talks. They might want to keep Lowry as well, so I think that might be smoke as well. So yeah, so many tough games coming up with the Lakers and the Miami Heat. Try to split that or win both, and then LA Clippers at home. It all depends on the health of Kawhi and Paul George. And then, of course, I love those matchups against Philly, man. We all know how tough two games in three nights can be against the same team, right? I hate them, man. Philly, Orlando, and then Philly again, right there, man. I hate it. But yeah, that get us close to the trade deadline, close to the All-Star buzz right now. The schedule gets tougher after that. The Knicks have the second toughest schedule for the rest of this season, right? So the Knicks are going to have to earn any success they have this season, right? It's not going to be given, it's going to be earned up in this thing right now. I do feel like Leon Rose is going to make upgrades, right? Their job's on the line and they're going to go in with this situation. Their third year in their regime. The table's been set. Tom Thibodeau's like, I'm 64 years old. My job's hanging by a thread, man. Get me some help, right? If it's Grayson Allen, Josh Richardson, Mo Bamba, OG, just some help. Killer salute. Look, let's hope Mitch ain't out for too long. But the buzz says, fam, Mitch is out for like I would say another 2 weeks minimum. So let's say between 2 and 4 is my guess, fam. Yep. From from this day on, I think another 2 to 4 from this. Obviously, the trade deadline and the All-Star break helps us out fam, with a bit of a break. With that said, Tankathon says the toughest right now. Yep. Either one. Yep. You're right, man. You guys have the faith. We have the horses too. Let's not ignore the fact that we have Brunson playing tough minutes right now. Randle playing tough. Are these guys going to slow down, get banged up, miss games, all of that, man, as well, right? We could easily string off 5 losses in a row, the same way we could probably string off 5 wins in a row. If we get lucky with some injuries with other teams, or we just play gritty, we play tough, and we pull out a couple tough ones, the Knicks could go either way right now, man. We're so unpredictable. We're the quintessential 500 team right now. We can beat anyone on any night, and we can get beaten on any night. Salute to the chat, rocking out. The streets are buzzing right now. The fan base ain't ducking as well. Smash that like button right now. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on what the Knicks should do right now with no moves to be made. But what are some things the Knicks could do to help them out, right? This ain't rocket science. But let's get the minutes distributed better, right? Let's get Randle and let's get Brunson not playing an entire quarter right now. Let's stagger them, sorry, and have one of them on the floor at all times, or ideally as much as possible, right? I like the fact that you're playing Barrett with the bench more. We need that. Although, to start the fourth, it's still ugly with the Knicks, relinquishing some leads, right? So get Randle and Brunson on the court at all times, either one of them right now. Get Obi Toppin's minutes up with Quickly right now. Continue to let Quickly play 30 plus right now. He played 27. He's young, he's spry, he's fit, he's hot right now. Just play him more, right? Rest Brunson more, rest Barrett, rest Grimes, right? That's starting to get Quickly's minutes up to starting minutes right now. I know they're close, but just get them up a little bit more. You got Quickly at 27 minutes last night. He should be playing 33, 34 minutes the way he's playing, right? He's the plus minus king right now. He's earned that. He's earned that belt right now. He's Emmanuel Quickly, the plus minus king on this team, and he needs to play more, and it'll only be good things because Brunson's going to get a bit of rest. Barrett might get loose, playing faster tempo, all of that. And you're preserving Brunson and Randle a bit more for later in the season as well, with Obi getting more minutes and with Quickly getting more minutes, you know. Um, with the Deuce situation, 12 minutes last night, I'm okay keeping it at that. I guess with the Fournier situation, he's most likely not going to play anymore because of the trade talks as well. So we won't see what's going to be up. But even if Fournier was healthy, I would still give those minutes to McBride. We've seen Evan Fournier come in. He can get hot, but he can also create this crazy swing with some ugly decisions, I think, on the court as well. Yeah, Tim agrees. Let's go. Dwight Howard, B. Willis. I think Dwight's balling out overseas right now. Let's go. Yeah, they need that help. Get Randle and Brunson's minutes down a bit, fam. Exactly right. You don't need to be a genius to know we only go as far as those two guys, and Barrett and the others can take us. But really, if Randle and Brunson are gassed, right, the best version of this team can't be with these guys gassed right now. And Quickly is showing you everything you could possibly imagine and some right now, man. The phones are running hot for Emmanuel Quickly right now, man. So keep riding the hot hand. Obi, the hot hand, keep riding him too. Now Hartenstein, I love to get his minutes down a little. Right, Sims 25 last night. iHeart with 23. So Try to get iHeart's minutes down to like 20, maybe less. Sims minutes up. And then Randle and Obi together for like, I don't know. I'd take anything at this point. But if Randle and Obi can play 8, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes together, I'd like to see what that looks like. More cutting, more movement, getting up and down for key stretches of the game, right? Not saying to finish the game out, but maybe to end the third, to start the fourth, when we usually surrender some leads. If you can put up points on the board, even if you're giving up points, if you can just put up points, you're not going to surrender a lead because you're going to get your own score ticking with Obi and Randle on the floor together right now. We usually give up leads when we go stale offensively and they go zone or we hit a couple bricks and that's it, man. We're in a dogfight after that. Yeah, it's tough, but let's see what it looks like for a few minutes. With that, Killer wouldn't mind seeing that combo. Shot clock has seen it, thinks it's ugly or a bit of a mess. At times it can be. To I guess it's matchup dependent also, fam. But yeah, with that said, it opens the floor up definitely with shooting. You believe that there's a contingent in the front office that would want to maintain 25 milli, and they know IQ will at least eat up 15 milli. Yep, that's the struggle right now, man. But I mean, you look at like what a Jordan Clarkson's earning. I think it's money well spent still, me personally, because paying IQ could still allow you to trade him later in a blockbuster if a bigger guy came available. But the fact that you lock him in, he could be your backup starter if Brunson goes out, and he can also be your star off the bench as well. So I still think it's a more pro pay quickly right now still. I think because you can always trade him, I think it was the same argument with Mitch, People were worried, should we give up 15 milli for Mitch right now? We gave up 15 milli for Mitch and it hasn't backfired at all because if someone wants Mitch or we need to get off of him in a cat deal or a blockbuster deal, he's playing so well that money, that deal is palatable because of his play, I think. So yeah, we're making some moves out here, man. Yeah, yeah, killer salute. Let's get that rust off for Obi. Yeah, the 3-point ball's money. He's in a rhythm right now. I'm going to give him 5 attempts a game from three. 5 to 6 attempts. He's got 3 last night. Let's get him open in the corners, the top of the key, all of that stuff, man, because he's a drive threat. With that said, I still put it at 50-50. Obi's traded because I think this front office knows something got to give. Something got to give with that, situation right now, and what's been happening, you know, around the league, and yeah, there'll be people asking that question. I think, fam, right now around the league, you see all these names available, ladies and gents. There's buzz every single day, every single night, right here, and yet Julius Randle's crazy season, one more 30-point game away from matching the MIP season. Let that sink in right now, right? So if he's not an all-star, I don't know what to say because 15, 30-point games got him, and the other play got him an MIP, all-star, and all-NBA right now, and he's about to eclipse that. Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, I think the whole team lacks IQ too. I agree with this situation. Um, Obi on a young player's mindset, but Randle also falling back to some habits, using his physical dominance as well, trying to overcome dudes as well. Yeah, Tom's system is read and react, basically drop coverage as well, protect the paint at all costs, don't give up easy looks. If they beat you with the 3 ball, they beat you. with that situation. It's frustrating at times. I just love a straight up man to man D, you know, see your ball, see your man like Clyde, you know. Get around screens also. I hate going under screens as well. Fight over screens. You know, my respect for a player like Deuce, anyone Grimes who fights over screens is up there as well. Even Barrett tries to fight over screens sometimes, but he's just too big, you know, to get around that screen. So yeah, we talked about Bob Myers as well. Crazy timing, but you know, James Dolan loves big names, and I think James Dolan has long loved to have Masai Ujiri as well at some point. You know, maybe in some point in the future, Masai Ujiri gets brought into New York City. I think let's see. But Bob Myers has got the track record as well. I'd be happy with either of them right now. It'd be embarrassment of riches, you know, with those guys. I think, yeah, we've set the table, and anyone who came in would have plenty of assets to make this thing go, man. Let's make this thing go right now. Um, the same way Grayson Allen ain't likable, Jay Crowder is another name that is definitely going to be out there, like Cam Reddish, right? He's going to get traded, no doubt about it. And I think it's a situation where the Phoenix Suns, he could be had, definitely. Terrence Ross, Josh Green, McBuckets can be had. Malik Beasley is a bit of a liability defensively, but Malik can stroke it as well. So he's still an upgrade over Deuce, I think. Now, with this road ahead, you guys give me your predictions too. We'll wrap this thing up for tonight. We're back on tomorrow, of course. Boston, um, Friday night as well. We'll be talking some stuff with a guest. And I'm looking at the Boston Brooklyn one to split. LA, hopefully Miami. We could pull out those two tough ones. That would be impressive. Not saying we're going to do it, but that's going to be impressive to me to split the next two, win LA and Miami at home. That's definitely the target you should achieve for, I think. And then things open up a little bit with the LA in the first Philly game at home as well. So a little bit of a 4-game homestand where we can get this home record looking nice as well. But yeah, the Knicks have the second toughest schedule. We're not ducking as well. Just as the chat's buzzing, the Knicks are either going to fly or fall. Really, we're going to show what we're made of, make some big moves, or we're going to fall in the standings right now. Play off, play in. It's still what the projections were for the season, but the T word is out there, man. Temptation for Tom Thibodeau, Leon Rose to just tweak this thing, get a little tweak happening, and see how far we could get up there, man. Because what are we? A game off the playoffs. Out of the play-in situation and into the playoffs. We're just a game away right now. We know that's going to keep people's job. We're keeping it real. If you're thinking about like your job might be on the line, you're just a game or two away from being in the bona fide playoff spot. You're going to be more likely to see what's out there. Let's bulk up this arms race and top up the bench. 3 and 5 has Dirty for these next 8 stretch. That wouldn't be the worst thing. Yep. With this tough schedule, I think 500 would be a success, but 3 and 5 wouldn't be too bad either. As we draw to a close to get to the All-Star break, the Knicks will have a rest. Obviously, some dudes might be in the All-Star game, but most of the squad will have a bit of a rest. Hopefully, Jalen Brunson gets a rest, but I'd love to see him in the All-Star game. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get in right now. Jericho, I don't know if they've announced all of the dunk participants, but let's see. right now. Yeah, J Dragon's been wanting Spreewell up here in a minute. Let's hear your thoughts on that situation. That's left of field. No faith in the team as a 60-year Nick fan right now. Man, you've been through the ups and the downs. Let's go. Yep. Yeah, no team's quite a pushover at the moment, but the thing is we're seeing a lot of these teams for the second, third, fourth time even as well. So adjustments, what adjustments, you know? Are we going to see anything right now? Are our chances to win just dependent on isolation play, you know, how that goes, how dudes shoot as well. Emmanuel quickly on the bench is critical, right? You take quickly off the bench, we're basically screwed. So, like I said, it's key to stagger these minutes right now. Randle and Brunson on and off the floor to help with these tough stretches, you know, coming up. And with that said, Deuce McBride continue to play D, but we don't want him shooting too much unless he's wide open, you know, and get quickly more shots, you know, 8 shots last night as well. I'm happy with quickly shooting 12 to 15 shots, you know, off the bench. With that said, 30 plus minutes. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a great show, you know, rocking out with us tonight. Appreciate you all for your support and thoughts. Buzz in the chat as well. Let's get it. The streets are buzzing. Smashing that like button because we here, right? Ride or die. The best fan base in the streets. The best chat in the biz. And we ain't ducking right now with this schedule coming up. Right, names floated about. And no doubt we're going to be here to talk about it on the next one. Right, post game tomorrow after Boston, guest on Friday night as well. Brooklyn, big one on Saturday night, right? Team no sleep out here. Blessings, hope everybody's doing well. Enjoy your night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.